Welcome back to Post Time. Sophomore Standardbred stars lit up the summer sky at Harrington Raceway recently. The $100,000 Delaware Standardbred Breeders' Fun Finals at the Delaware State Fair showcased the talents of our first state-bred sophomore equines. First, let's see who won the Lady Pacing Division of the Delaware Standardbred Breeders' Fun Final.
They're at the top of the stretch. Seboomook Booyah leads the way to the wire. Seboomook Booyah by 3 lengths in mid-stretch, and they're not going to beat Seboomook Booyah. Seboomook Booyah's in front. KJ's Caroline comes back for second. Then it was Women Rule and In It to Win a Fortune in 155.
It was a 13-1 upset by Seboomook Booyah, with driver Alan Davis getting the victory for owner Garnet O'Maro. The Wayne Gibbons trainee went right to the front and didn't look back in her 2-length score in 155.
Can we get a reaction? That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. Yeah!
This sophomore standout is the daughter of Funny Bones. Second was KG's Caroline, and Women Rule grabbed third.
Alan, tell us about this filly. You've driven her much of the year. She seems to be the type that's built for a half-mile racetrack, likes to be assertive early, and that's often where you want to be on a half-mile.
Absolutely. That's her race on the front. You know, she's a little rambunctious behind the gate, and so I just let her pace out there, and it worked out.
You've driven a lot of horses for Wayne Gibbons over the last year or two. That's got to have helped your career a bit. What does it mean being able to drive for a guy like Wayne Gibbons, who always has his horses ready and always has top-notch competition when ready for the Breeders' Fund races and other stake races?
Absolutely. His horses are ready to go to post every time I've sat behind one. So it's been a blessing to be able to drive for him.
This filly went off 13-1, probably a big overlay in a lot of people's minds. You obviously thought she had a big chance to win tonight the way you drove her.
Well, everything worked out. The horse right inside of us, she showed a lot of speed, and she made a little skip leaving, so we got the cross right over, and then everything worked out.
Next, let's take a look at our top first state 3-year-old colt pacers in memory of Jim Case.
And approaching the top of the stretch, Hot Roddy's going to turn for home with a 1.5 length lead. By a Time is going to get loose right now as they straighten away. Here comes Hot Roddy with By a Time down the inside. Beam Me Up Scotty coming to the wire. Hot Roddy's got it. Hot Roddy's in front. By a Time, Beam Me Up Scotty. I liked him trashy fourth, 154-4.
Hot Roddy with George Dennis in the bike took home a win in 154-4. This pacing phenom went from wire to wire and is owned by Rodney Long, Tim Hunderfunt, and Joe Hunderfunt Jr., who's also the trainer. The son of Roddy's Bags Again has now won 12 out of 14 career races. There for the place spot was By a Time, and Beam Me Up Scotty picked up third. This race was in memory of Jim Case, who was not only a longtime horseman, but also the first president of the Delaware Standardbred Owners Association.
Hot Roddy's been such a top colt all year long. 12 wins, 14 starts. What's he like?
Oh, he's a great horse to drive. I mean, his gate speed puts him into the race every week. And when he gets to the front, he just won't let him get by.
Despite his impressive resume, this was still a very competitive race. You know, several colts in here all look very good, very evenly matched on paper. What was your strategy going into this race?
Well, I really didn't want 5 on my back and a 2-0, but it worked out. But I got a good breather in the middle, and he really responded well.
Well, George, we want to congratulate you and all the connections of Hot Roddy.
Now let's bring in the Philly Trotters, who are taking center stage in this event that was raced in memory of Jack Walls.
Move midway on the final turn. Starlit Eyes, Irish Sport back into second. Podium is there. 3 wide Country Romance down toward the inside is Boston Chevelle. They come through the stretch. Starlit Eyes leads by 3 lengths in mid-stretch, and Starlit Eyes is all alone coming to the wire. Starlit Eyes is in front. Tight for second. Looks like Irish Sport holds Boston Chevelle off of the place in 2 minutes, 2/5.
Winback Farm, LeBlanc Racing, and Jeff Franklin's Starlit Eyes cut the mile in 2 minutes and 2/5, with driver Ross Woofenden at the controls. The CR Commando filly is trained by Steve LeBlanc. Picking up the second place money was Irish Sport, and rounding out the trifecta was Boston Cheval. The race was named in honor of Jack Walls, who was a former president of Harrington Raceway and an all-around great fan of the sport.
Ross, tell us about Starlit Eyes. This horse had some rough-gated tendencies earlier in the season, but Steve had her ready to go today.
Not so much rough-gated. She just gets a little keen, and that kind of spotted her a lot of ground, and she couldn't make it up. But I think as she's gotten older, she's matured, and she's not as bad on the gate. The gate's the key to her.
Did you drive her any differently tonight behind the gate, given what happened in the eliminations? She was a beaten favorite in both of those, although one of the eliminations she did finish second, the other one she made a break.
Well, like I said, I think she's just gotten better. Ocean Downs, she was fresh in her first start there, and then Steve calmed her down a bit, and I think she just matured and got into it.
Well, thank you, Ross. We'll bring in trainer Steve LeBlanc, trainer of Starlit Eyes. Trainer Steve LeBlanc has done very well with young horses over the years. Tell us about this filly.
It's like Ross said, you know, she just gets a little excited behind the gate. If she gets out of there, she's pretty solid. You can't really knock her off her feet after that.
She gets a little bit excited behind the gate, just like all the women that were out here Thursday night to see Luke Bryan.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Steve, what's her schedule from here? Is she going to get ready for the remaining stakes at Dover?
That was her last one for Delaware, but she has another Maryland race fun in Ocean.
Well, Steve, we wish you continued success and best of luck the rest of the week.
Thanks, Matt.
Finally, let's see the 3-year-old colt trotting final, named for Hal Belote.
They make their way around the final turn. Solo Command. Good Skies comes to the outside. It's 7 or 8 to Cashmere Briefs. Here comes Triple Command on the outside, racing up into third. They're at the top of the stretch. Good Skies on the outside, coming through the stretch. Good Skies and Solo Command toward the inside. Good Skies on the outside to draw off. It's Good Skies. Then it's going to be Solo Command and Triple Command. Fourth is Rush Limbo. 2 minutes, 2/5.
A couple of favorites in the race went off stride, but the trotter Good Skies kept his manners, got a good trip, and crossed the wire first in 2 minutes and 2/5 with Eddie Davis Jr. in the sulky. The son of Giant Hit is owned by J&E Stable and Al Moore and paid $72.80 for the win. Good Skies actually broke his maiden in this $100,000 event.
I didn't want to do it.
Solo Command was second, while Triple Command was third. This DSBF final, which was raced in memory of a beloved trainer-driver, Hal Belote, was an emotional victory with lots of happy tears for trainer Janet Davis and the supporters of Good Skies.
You want to say anything? I'm going to Disneyland.
17th career start, first lifetime win. Heck of a time to do it.
Yeah, perfect timing.
Tell us about this horse. You've driven him pretty much all season long. Even went to the Meadowlands to drive him in a couple of his recent starts. Usually has been a rung below the top horses in this class, but had a lot of luck this time, but still had to trot home to get by Solo Command.
Yeah, the reason I took him to Meadowlands was just try to break him loose, get some good miles in him, and it worked out.
Tell us about early in their race. Were you cognizant of the 1 and 2 both going off stride early, and obviously that sets you up pretty well?
Yeah, I had to leave. I spent 3 weeks trying to get him ready. I had to leave, take a shot. He was good.
Well, some very happy connections. Trainer Janet Davis, Eddie Davis Jr., congratulations.
Thank you.
We have tried to cover as much of the Delaware State Fair racing as we could for the past couple of weeks on the show. Believe it or not, we couldn't even get to all of it. There was that much excitement. But in order to give those other winners recognition that we haven't been able to show you the past couple of weeks, well, they're going to be in the credits. Thanks so much. I'll see you at the track, and God bless.